Now, I already theorized that the hypothalamus has something to do with metaphysical energy. Okay, that's your bionuclear energy. All right. Now, this was a theory. It's from where I began in my other book to here. I've been thinking that the hypothalamus has something to do with the bionuclear energy, and the bioelectric energy is outside the cell. All right. Well, ironically, the hypothalamus has nothing but nucleuses. Okay, there's the preoptic nucleus, the anterior hypothalamic nucleus, the supraoptic nucleus, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, the posterior hypothalamus nucleus. I mean, it's composed of nothing but nucleus. All right. Now, this is the thalamus. This is the plasma membrane, and this right here is the nucleus inside the sperm, which is the bionuclear. This is the Y factor. Okay. You have your ventricles here, the fluid-filled spaces. Okay. That's exactly what you have here, a plasma membrane. This is the spine. This is the mitochondria that tells the mitochondria in the female how to use this nuclear energy and how to build the structure of the being. Okay. This is literally what we get from our father. This is the bionuclear. Okay. This is the nuclear energy. This is the alpha male. Hello. I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm just trying to get people to understand that there is a bigger picture that scientists are missing. And this has to do with metaphysics. It really does. Metaphysics, all the religions, the science, all of it. It connects every bit of it. Okay? There's a nature, and that's where God comes from. The idea of God is a literal quantum nature of everything. Because nothing new happens in the universe. Everything just happens over and over and over on different scales. It only happens on different scales. Something new isn't just going to ironically happen. It's already happened. But it's just going to happen on different scales. Not to mention timelines. There's nothing new under the sun. I believe that's where this comes from. Okay? Not to mention, like I said, time scale, timelines. History. We've done it all before. We'll do it all again. Not to mention, everything happens the same way over and over and over. So literally, this is the bionuclear. Okay? This is the bioelectric. This is the ovum, the X factor. Okay? And see, when you have the singularity, you're going to have a nucleus or a star, anything. A planet, a star, a cell, an atom, all of it. It's all the same. It's got a nucleus and it's electric energy. That's the alpha, that's the omega. If God is all around us, then this is God. This is why I say pantheists are the closest to understanding the truth, because all nature is literally what God is. And alpha and omega, it literally ties into existing forever. And nuclear energy and electric energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It only happens again and again and again. And it wants to exist in a lower state, and a lower state of nuclear and electric energy is matter. So it converts from this high energy state, the singularity, into a lower energy state, which is matter. And the universe, galaxies, suns, stars, which is plasma. And anything alive is plasma. Plants have plasma. Humans have plasma. Raccoons, trees, stars, all of it. Anything that has plasma is alive. So yes, stars are alive. They don't have a heartbeat, that doesn't matter. Trees don't have a heartbeat, but they're alive. So this is the correlation that is being overlooked when it comes to science and religion. See? Singularity, a star, planets, cells, biological cells, atoms, a galaxy. A galaxy isn't just a circle, but it does have its strong force, which is the nucleus, which is a black hole in most cases, and it's bioelectric, or it's electric, it's quantum electric. It's stars, plasma. See, it's animated. Our universe is literally alive. It's animated. Okay, here's a neuron. That's a neuron. It's got its nucleus, it's got its membrane, it's got its cell body, the dendrites. The neuron is literally, it's like a micronova going off in our head. When you look up into space, and when scientists and astronomers look up into space and they see all these supernovas, that's like the neural synapse in our brain. We literally have a microverse inside our head. It's a biological living universe. It's a biomicroverse, or a microbioverse. It's literal. That's literal. I mean, that's an actual truth that nobody's ever literally conceived before. I mean, maybe somebody's conceived it, I don't know. But they're probably considered crazy, which I don't see why anybody would even consider this crazy, because it makes too much friggin' sense. And this is like a spark gap, you know, the micronova. I mean, the neural synapse, the kinetic energy, axon terminals. The universe mirrors our brain. Plasma, matter, nuclear, and electric energy. That is plasma. That is what we have. That is what every living thing in the universe has. So when you have a star or a singularity, that is nothing but potential energy. Because potential energy is chemical, nuclear, and electric energy. That's where it starts. Now, there's momentum that can be potential energy, like a roller coaster. You got potential and kinetic energy. Okay? That's completely different. Okay? That's what happens when you get a singularity. Boom, it blows up. Now you have that kinetic energy, which is time that begins. That dark energy. Boom. Dark energy is time. It's logical. I mean, that's logical sense, breaking it down into the simplest form. Because this is the simplest way to consider all this stuff. The universe is not hard to figure out. It's very, very easy to figure out. But we have to understand that we're going to have to look into ourselves to understand it. Because it's not just something individual on its own. This isn't something individual on its own. This isn't something individual on its own. It's all connected. It all mirrors itself. Everything. There is a bigger picture. And this is what has been misconstrued as God or not God. Okay? This quantum nature of the universe, this living nature, is what God is. Now, you don't have to even believe in the word God. It's just a word. The simple word of God. It's a word. It's generation, operation, and destruction. That's the quantum nature of the universe. Okay? The only time people want to fight over the word, all they hate is just the word. I mean, they're just fighting over a simple word. And that's why the word of God is such a big deal. Because it's just a word that everyone wants to fight over. You could tell someone this and they would believe it until you mention the word God. Then when you say the word God, they're like, "Oh my God, that's crazy!" It's, you know, that's all they're doing is arguing against a stupid word. I'm not saying it's stupid. I'm not saying it's the stupidity of fighting over a word. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's why it's called the Word of God. Now this is Sacsayhuaman. Ironically, it looks similar to the Antikythera mechanism. In a cell, you have your nuclear energy and your electric energy, okay? Sacsayhuaman was a star generator just like the pyramids, just like Giza. And it used the Seebeck effect. The Ark of the Covenant, your hot chamber, your cold chamber. The Ark of the Covenant was alpha and omega. That's nuclear and electric energy. That created plasma, which was a plasma arc that was very hot in the hot chamber. There's the cold chamber. This is a radio transmitter and receiver. This literally transmitted wireless electric energy. This was the exotic energy that these gods used. They were just man, but they had technology like we do. And if we actually went back into the past, if we had a time machine and went back into the past, we would be considered gods from what we know and the technology we have, just like they did. They were privileged. They were people that had the technology when there were people below them that didn't. They were primitive. So these people were looked up as gods. But they were just advanced like we are. So I'm just trying to be rational. And this is the most rational answer there is. I'm not fighting. I've sat back and watched the world go by and watched people fight and argue and just collected the facts over the years. And this is what it all points out to. I'm going to go. Now, Cosm's next.